What is good, my family? Your boy is back with another classic Mortal Kombat video. Here in this video here, even though, you know, Mortal Kombat 12 or the next Mortal Kombat sequel has not been announced yet, I do want to talk about the group of characters that I would like to see in the next Mortal Kombat game whenever that's announced or released. Now, I did talk about this a while back in another video, but that video was more just like a overall wish list when it comes to mechanics and everything like that when it came to the next Mortal Kombat game. This video here, I'm going to be focused solely on the characters. Now, this list of MK characters do vary from favorites or characters that were in past Mortal Kombat games but just didn't get a push, or characters that were underdeveloped and looked interesting, and I feel that they need a shot in the next Mortal Kombat game. Now, I do have to say this, a lot of these characters that I'm about to name off, I am doing it to a certain extent that I feel like because I hope that Shang Tsung's ending was canon at the end of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. So with that ending hopefully being canon, a lot of these characters really do have a chance of being in the next Mortal Kombat game because of that particular ending. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to your boy for more classic ass videos like the ones that you're about to witness. We are going to get into this shit right now. So the first character that I feel like should be in Mortal Kombat 12 or the next Mortal Kombat game is Smoke. Now, they struck big with Smoke in MK9. Smoke had the most badass gameplay in MK9, one of the best fatalities in MK9, and they kind of redid Smoke a little bit. It was pretty cool. Smoke should definitely come back. You know, he's pretty much iconic. You know, he debuted in Mortal Kombat 2 as a hidden character, and he was also in Mortal Kombat 3. And as everybody knows, there's also two versions of Smoke. You got the human Smoke, then you got the cyber Smoke. So, you know, they can do a lot with that shit with Smoke right there, you know, quite possibly do a palette swap or whatever, you know, go back and forth between human Smoke, cyber Smoke, or whatever they want to do. Smoke has a big ass fan base, and I know a lot of people want him to come back. So Smoke would definitely be a good addition to Mortal Kombat 12 or whatever Mortal Kombat game that they make, because Smoke, he was definitely missed in Mortal Kombat 11. They could have definitely used him in that game. Smoke should be back on the next Mortal Kombat game. The next character is NITARA. Now, I definitely feel like NITARA should be on Mortal Kombat 12 or the next Mortal Kombat game, because NITARA is actually an interesting character. She was just one of those characters, man. She had a lot of potential, a lot of promise, but for some strange reason, the developers just kind of forgot about her, which is unfortunate because she is an interesting character. And there's not really a lot of vampire characters in Mortal Kombat. She's practically the only one. So I kind of feel like NITARA should be in the next Mortal Kombat game. She doesn't really even have to be part of whatever type of story that they want to do. She could be like a DLC or some shit like that. And the main thing with NITARA is, even though she doesn't really have to be a part of the story, she does have connections with a couple of characters. She has a connection with Reptile. She also has a connection with CYRAX. So they could possibly make something happen there with those three characters, whichever characters come on the next Mortal Kombat game. Probably like a ladder story or some shit like that they can do with her and with a couple of those characters. I just feel like NITARA is just one of those characters that just really needs some shine time. I mean, they should just put her back in Mortal Kombat 12, get her some time to shine, let her build a fan base, let players decide if they like her or not, because she's really an unknown character, especially to the newer generation that's coming up right now when you're talking about Mortal Kombat. So putting her back into the next Mortal Kombat game can kind of reintroduce her to a lot of people. The next two characters that I want to see in Mortal Kombat 12 or the next Mortal Kombat game is CYRAX and SEKTOR, and I cannot express this enough. CYRAX and SEKTOR should have been put in Mortal Kombat 11 as playable characters. NetherRealm really broke a lot of hearts, really pissed a lot of people off by not adding these two iconic characters as playable characters in DLC in Mortal Kombat 11. And really, MK11 really faltered because of it. It was really some fucked up shit what they did with CYRAX and SEKTOR. These two characters are the Crayola crayons of Mortal Kombat, and they were not added as playable characters. It was a real tease on NetherRealm's part, and it needs to be some redemption right now. CYRAX and SEKTOR are too iconic to miss 2 straight Mortal Kombat games. I honestly don't think that's going to happen. I honestly do think whenever the next Mortal Kombat game surfaces, CYRAX and SEKTOR will be on there by default because they cannot stay off 2 straight Mortal Kombats. It just cannot happen. CYRAX and SEKTOR are definitely 2 characters that I want to see in the next Mortal Kombat game. Tanya is another character that I feel like should be in Mortal Kombat 12 or the next Mortal Kombat sequel. Tanya actually got a pretty good push in Mortal Kombat 10, and then they took her off for Mortal Kombat 11. I feel like they need to bring her back in for Mortal Kombat 12 so she can get that momentum back. She is a very decent character, a very good character, interesting character. She also has a silent fan base out there. A lot of people do like this character. Me personally, I like her far better than Jade. I'm just getting sick of Jade. You know, Tanya could possibly take Jade's place because Jade is getting kind of wore out right now. But yeah, Tanya definitely deserves to be on Mortal Kombat 12. If Shang Tsung's ending is possibly canon, Tanya definitely could have a spot in the Mortal Kombat 12 story. She does have a connection with a lot of characters in the Mortal Kombat franchise, so by her being in the Mortal Kombat 12, they can make something happen with Tanya. I am really hoping that Tanya makes a comeback in the next Mortal Kombat sequel because she's a character that she is a well-developed character. She just needs more of a push. Like I said, they gave her one in MKX. They should give her another one. The next character that I want to see on Mortal Kombat 12 is Reiko, and I'm going to tell y'all something. I really do love this character. He's one of my favorite characters. Reiko does have a fan base out there, so he is pretty popular. This character has the potential of being the next Shao Kahn. He has all the tools that you need to be the ultimate boss and the ultimate bad guy. Reiko just needs more of a push. Now, there has been some talk out there that like Reiko is absolutely dead, but this is Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat gets rebooted, timelines get rebooted and shit like that, and it's starting to look like that at the end of Mortal Kombat 11. Despite which ending you thought was true, it's still looking like a reboot fashion. So Reiko would definitely benefit from, I guess you could say, Shang Tsung's ending, like I keep on saying, because he's known for being destructive, and that ending was full of chaos. So Reiko would definitely fit in a Mortal Kombat 12 story if that ending was canon. And I honestly do feel like with Reiko can actually be the character to kind of open up some new shit for even future Mortal Kombat titles. So he has a big connection with Mileena. He also idolizes Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung. Not only that, they can improve his gameplay a little bit. Reiko got the potential of being the ultimate bad motherfucker. The next character, of course, that I want in Mortal Kombat 12 is my all-time favorite Mortal Kombat character in Stryker. Now, I done said on countless Mortal Kombat videos that I have made in the past and the recent one, Stryker should have been in MK11 like a handful of other characters, but he was scratched off of MK11. He needs to be back in MK12. Stryker is one of the best concepted characters, best developed characters, and he does have a body of work. He needs to be back in Mortal Kombat 12. Depending on whatever story that they make, Stryker would be a perfect fit for Mortal Kombat 12. I also did a video on how Stryker should have been in Mortal Kombat 11, so y'all can go ahead and check that video out and hear what I got to say why he should have been in Mortal Kombat 11, but it didn't happen. But Stryker definitely should be in Mortal Kombat 12, one of the characters I do want to see in the next Mortal Kombat game. The next character that most definitely should be in Mortal Kombat 12 is Reptile. Now, Reptile was not on Mortal Kombat 11, and I was absolutely shocked that they did not put Reptile in Mortal Kombat 11, because Reptile is one of those characters that he hardly ever misses a Mortal Kombat game, if not at all. I think the last time Reptile missed a Mortal Kombat game was the original Mortal Kombat 3, and even in then, he came back in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So Reptile has been a character that has been super consistent in these Mortal Kombat games, and I was shocked that they took him off MK11, and of course his fan base was shocked too, because Reptile has a huge fan base, and I think NRS really needs to repay the fan base of Reptile back and put him back in Mortal Kombat 12, because Reptile is a classic. He was the first hidden character of the franchise. He needs to be put back into Mortal Kombat. The next character that I would like to see in Mortal Kombat 12 is SHUJINKO. Now, SHUJINKO has got kind of a bad rep, and he wasn't accepted very well back in Mortal Kombat Deception. Some people loved him, some hated him, but I just kind of feel like, you know, with the timelines being rebooted and all of that, I kind of feel like SHUJINKO kind of deserves a second chance, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what version that they could give us in Mortal Kombat 12. I would go with the younger version, SHUJINKO or something like that, or if they give us the older version or whatever, you know, MK12, who knows, maybe they might have that damn variation shit going on, you know, we can kind of choose between or whatever. But SHUJINKO is one of those characters I feel like he should get a second chance. He doesn't have to be the focal point of a Mortal Kombat story. He could just be part of the story, you know, part of some type of heroic action or some shit like that. And, you know, SHUJINKO would actually be suitable for both endings, to, you know, considering what ending is true or not. Like I keep on saying, I hope it's the Shang Tsung ending. SHUJINKO could have a pretty good part in the endings. If they were to put him in a Mortal Kombat 12 or the next Mortal Kombat game, he can be rebranded. They can redo his concept a little bit and give him a second chance. Because I really do think SHUJINKO, he's a character that had a lot of potential, but he just wasn't handled well. With Mortal Kombat 12 or whatever Mortal Kombat game that's going to be next, SHUJINKO can get a second opportunity and then they can make something better out of him. The next character is one of my personal favorites is KHAMELEON. KHAMELEON is somewhat a forgotten character, and there is a twist to it because there is a male and a female KHAMELEON character, but I'm more on the side of the female KHAMELEON character because the female KHAMELEON character was actually a hidden character in the Mortal Kombat trilogy game. And then, of course, you know, the male KHAMELEON character came in Armageddon. So to me, I kind of feel like KHAMELEON is kind of like the female version of Reptile. I'm more familiar with the female KHAMELEON character, but if we can get both KHAMELEON characters in Mortal Kombat 12, I think that'd be some cool shit. Like I said, they could be like a DLC or something. You know, they could probably have some part in the story depending on what they can do with them. But yeah, KHAMELEON would definitely be a good addition in Mortal Kombat 12. This is another interesting character, a character that I feel like has a good concept, and she also has, you know, good potential. So KHAMELEON, if they took some time and dedicated to this character can come out being something. And with Mortal Kombat 12 or the next Mortal Kombat game, KHAMELEON, another character that really deserves a chance to be on a new Mortal Kombat game. The next character that I want to see in Mortal Kombat 12 is GORO. Now, GORO is very, very interesting because everybody knows back in the original Mortal Kombat, GORO was Shang Tsung's right-hand Shogun. And like I keep on saying, if Shang Tsung's ending at the end of Mortal Kombat 11 is legit, GORO could have a perfect, definite chance to be in Mortal Kombat 12. Shang Tsung can easily bring him back. So that is right there super interesting with GORO. GORO should be back into the game anyway. He was really a non-factor in the last two Mortal Kombats. He was a DLC for MK10. And of course, he was dead in his own lair in MK11, but he needs to be brung back. GORO is iconic in pop culture, just like a lot of these characters. He needs to be back in Mortal Kombat 12 somehow, some way they can do it because Mortal Kombat needs GORO. GORO is just a stamp in the Mortal Kombat franchise. He's unique. Original concept, they need to bring him back. And with Shang Tsung's ending, GORO definitely has a good chance of coming back. They can really do some good shit with GORO if he comes back in MK12 and Shang Tsung's ending is legit. The next character that I would like to see on Mortal Kombat 12 or whatever next Mortal Kombat game that there is SHINNOK. And one of the things about SHINNOK is when SHINNOK debuted in Mortal Kombat 4, I didn't really like SHINNOK because I was such a Shao Kahn head. We was all used to Shao Kahn being the big bad boss. But over the years, I've really grown to like SHINNOK. I really like what he was doing in MK10, even though SHINNOK really wasn't even in the story that much. He was at the beginning and then the end. But, you know, I really like what SHINNOK was doing in Mortal Kombat 10. And then, of course, you know, his head is in Mortal Kombat 11. But I don't know how they can make it happen, but I would like to see SHINNOK come back in MK12 because, you know, SHINNOK is a cool ass character. I just really like it. I like his design. I like everything he got going on. And like I said, I've grown to like this character, and I kind of feel like, you know, they might as well go ahead and put him back in MK12, or they just want to put him in for a DLC just for people to play as him or whatever. They can go ahead and do that, but, you know, SHINNOK is a cool ass character. I really do like this character. And then on top of that too, you know, there's not a lot of multiple great fighting game bosses out there. You know, I know Street Fighter is like really the only fighting game that has iconic multiple bosses, you know, in Bison, Gil, Seth. You know, Mortal Kombat, you know, they got their iconic multiple bosses too, and that's Shao Kahn and SHINNOK. I put SHINNOK right up there with the most iconic bosses in fighting games. Man, he's that damn good. So MK12, SHINNOK would be a great addition into the MK12 if they can make it happen. The entity that I want to see in Mortal Kombat 12 is the One Being. I know there is a lot of talk about the One Being, but that's just it. There's a lot of talk and there is no action when it comes to the One Being. I kind of feel like in MK12, the One Being needs to come out. They need to do something with this entity, this deity, or whatever it is. I know it was featured in SHINNOK's ending in Mortal Kombat 10, but that ain't enough. We want more of the One Being. The One Being, it's time for them to really show what the One Being is all about. The One Being, it's just the whole concept is very interesting. I am just dying just to know more about what's going on with the One Being. I know the story. I just want to see the action behind the story. Y'all feel me? And with MK12, the One Being can definitely be in there, especially with Shang Tsung's ending. If the ending is legit, they can find a way to have the One Being be in that ending by some type of twist to the plot of the story. You feel what I'm saying? Or whatever that they could do with it. But the One Being, it's time for them to really show what the One Being is all about. However approach that they want to do it, they can do that with MK12. But it is time for us to start seeing what the One Being is all about. So my family, that is the list of characters that I do like to see in Mortal Kombat 12 or the next Mortal Kombat game whenever it's announced. And I do realize this is a huge group of characters, but we do live in the day of DLC, so it really shouldn't matter how many characters that we have on our wish list. These developers can make it happen by putting these characters in. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below about the characters that I wish to see in the next Mortal Kombat game, and also let me know about what characters that you want to see in the next Mortal Kombat game whenever it's announced. As I said before, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to your boy for more exciting classic ass videos like this. Thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for listening, thank y'all for the support. I honestly hope y'all enjoyed. I will get back at y'all in the next video. My name is Demetrius. God bless, stay safe. I am out. Peace.